Magnus wanted to pick his own spot.
Is this your spot?
Yeah.
Does that mean that this is the only spot you can hunt?
He was pretty set on that deer. Right there is why Bud's buck's been missing. Unfortunately, we found one of them dead in the bottom of the dugout. But there's a nice wide 4x4 here. Last season, Magnus's hunt kind of drug on a bit. He got the short end of the stick a few nights, but ultimately found success, and with his bow. As parents, many of us wait what seems like a lifetime to see our children in the outdoors, and even more so to see them doing the work, putting in the time, all in hopes of finding success. And although he had spent his fair share of time in the deer woods, this past season was our son Magnus's first year that he could hunt himself. After several days and many close calls, Mags finally had his chance. He's down right there, buddy. Right on. And I promise, for any parent, this is the greatest walk-up you'll ever do.
Well, there you go, bud.
Yeah.
Well, your first deer took a few nights, hey, buddy?
Yep.
But, that's all right. You ended up with a beauty, hey?
Yep.
This year, more so than ever, Magnus had been out helping get set up, get things ready. He'd even scouted and set up a spot on his very own. And while deer season this year, it was going to happen fast. After a long but successful season last year for Magnus, this year he was determined to take even more on himself by scouting and setting up his very own spot. Magnus wanted to pick his own spot. This is as good as any. We had a couple tips along the way, but there's a nice bowl here. You can see the bowl right in here, and it's right full of trails and horn rubs. Right behind us is a canola field. It's not in flower yet, but it will be in flower in any year. So on this property is going to be out hammering those flowers. Magnus also said he's not completely committing to this spot. He said if there's a bigger buck somewhere else, he might desert it and leave it for somebody else, hey? So smart, play the odds, set up your own spot, but keep your options open. Young Mags had apparently picked a pretty good spot is on the first card pull from the stealth cam. There were multiple bucks giving good reason to head back to get it set up and ready to hunt. It's bittersweet when a son doesn't want his father's help. It's hard to sit back, but also heartwarming to see independence and determination grow.
Does it look good so far?
Yep. Is this your spot?
Yeah.
Does that mean that this is the only spot you can hunt? If there's no big bucks here, then that means...
After setting up, the same bucks were around, but not much that piqued his interest at the moment. And the reason he'd been reserved about only hunting there is that we had a big brow-tine buck that Mags had absolutely fallen in love with and wanted to hunt that had shown up at a different spot, a deer we had a lot of history with. Years of watching this beautiful buck with Magnus there every step of the way. Watching him grow and mature over the years, the deer and Magnus. And for 2023, he was back, getting past his prime, but Magnus had his heart set on hunting the brow-tine buck, but as everyone learns, sometimes bad news comes. We actually missed 2 days of hunting season because we've been cleaning corrals and stuff to get ready for fall. We spread manure. Magnus was out here harrowing some of the manure into the field here. Right there is why Bud's buck's been missing.
What's going on?
Not good news. I know where the brow-tine buck is.
Oh.
But we've got a lot of history with this deer. And this just really sucks. I don't know what might have happened to him. I mean, he seemed healthy. It's terrible. He was pretty set on that deer, so it's life though. It happens often for one reason or another, but with the season already started, Magnus's target buck was dead, and there wasn't much he wanted to hunt at his spot yet. But that's when putting in a summer's worth of work and having options comes into play. It's one of the easiest setups you'll ever see. It's heavy woods with one channel, and the one channel just leads right around the corner here to the southeast, about 65 yards to a lush alfalfa field. So we've been watching a couple of these bucks on the fence line down here. So we'll move our stealth cam down here now in front of the muddy blind, get some more monster meal out. We can keep having a look at those bucks. They're moving through here every night. We use the monster meal, we can stop them and have a better look at them. This wide lopsided buck had been around for a few years and had Magnus's eye for a while. In 2022, everyone had decided to not hunt the deer to see what might happen. And in 2023, right from May, you could tell he was going to be his best yet. And as the summer went on, he just grew wider and wider, much like Magnus's drive to hunt the deer. After a summer of practicing, the season was already here, chores were done, and it was time for a last few practice shots before starting his hunt. It was 2023 and Magnus had his very own spot set up with nothing that he wanted to hunt just yet, and a broken heart from finding the Broadhead buck dead. But it was time to hunt, and we were headed in to get settled in the Big Muddy Tower. I love these moments, walking in with the kids, anticipating what might happen, what they might learn, what I might learn with them. Magnus has instructed me that that is not a booster seat. It is a tactical elevation assault aid. Right? He's not happy about me. If for his arrow to clear the window in this big muddy blind, he's got to sit far enough forward that I don't like it. So to sit far enough back, we had to get a little bit of lift. So that's why we went tactical elevated assault platform. Right? It's day one for 2023, and actually it's day 4. Magnus didn't hunt the first 3 days. He said he didn't want to hunt. No, we've had a couple nights of bad winds, and then we had a little bit of farm work to get done, and everything's done, ready to hunt. Magnus has been shooting all summer. Brand new spec tree, all full grown up bow. We had one old buck. Well, there's a few deer that Magnus was going to hunt. Unfortunately, we found one of them dead in the bottom of the dugout just yesterday, actually, so that's one off the list. But we're just going to hunt where there's a nice wide 4x4 here. He's a pretty cool deer. Magnus has had an eye on him last year, hey? But we decided to let him grow another year. A 5-year-old deer, and he's really wide. He's got 1 weak side. He's had a weak side for 4 years, but he's a pretty cool deer. Second deer hunt. There's no rules. Magnus had his own stand all set up this year, and there's lots of bucks there, hey? But there's not a lot of mature bucks there, so it's going to be a good spot. And Magnus might hunt there yet, but he was having a look at some of the other trail cameras. How many trail cameras have you checked with me this summer? Hundreds. Yeah. He's been a big help this year, setting up stands and checking cameras and stuff. So he's had a good idea what's around, and he had a couple spots he wanted to hunt. This being one of them. So, but it is one of our favorite spots because it's just a textbook setup where the deer are coming out of the big woods, and this is a great big, really nice, lush alfalfa field. And they come out, and there's this perfect funnel that leads out here, and we run monster meal in this channel, and the deer hit the monster meal, and they head out to the alfalfa. And another good thing about running monster meal here is it keeps them from going around this way. And deer that might be coming down from straight north, they'll circle around and hit that monster meal on the way out too. We'll be quiet and get settled in and see how we make out. Early into our sit, this young buck was the first to appear, a heavy little guy with unique brows and a very pretty deer to watch. Even in the high temperatures, the deer were moving well as those began filtering through, nearly in waves, a good sign that the bucks might be moving early too. As the evening wore on and the deer continued to make appearances, we were ready. It just felt like that kind of night, and although still early, we caught movement at the fence. I leaned over to see, and though not the wide buck, it was a beautiful nice framed 8 that the wide buck had been traveling with all summer long. And there behind him was the wide buck that Magnus was hoping to see. But it doesn't always go according to our plans, and both bucks seemed to be headed past us, out of range. I had thought both bucks were gone, and from where I was sitting they were, though Magnus was watching to the right, and could obviously see something I could not. The wide buck had only made a detour and was right there, at 20 yards. And Magnus was ready, waiting for the buck to look away so he could draw. That is a crazy cool deer. Like, he's wide, eh? And when we looked at him on the trail camera, Magnus was thinking, he's like, I don't know if that deer is big enough or not. And I said, when you see that deer coming, he's gonna look like a freight train because he's so wide. He said I was right. So the shot looked really good, like really good. He was looking at it again. He was maybe quarter toward us a little bit, but the shot was good. We didn't see him go down. They ran to the back fence, and then I couldn't tell if he jumped or went down or what. So we're just going to be a little bit quiet here and just give him some time, just because we didn't see him go down. But good shooting, way to go, buddy. All right, well, there you are. Then I snuck over and grabbed his arrow, and it looks pretty good. It's covered in blood. Well, we had another look at the shot. I don't think there was too much of an issue, but we decided tomorrow is the first day of school. He doesn't need to be that awake, so we decided to give the deer plenty of time in several hours. So we're just gonna go take a look now, but we erred way on the side of caution, but probably the best idea anyway, hey?
Yeah.
He said it's his deer, he'll find it.
Dad, he's right here.
Holy moly. Well, that's the wide buck, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's got to be 22 inches wide or more. And that's the one that you settled for that night, eh?
Yeah. When he walked in, I was still shaking. Like that buck was so wide.
He looked like a freight train coming down there, hey?
Yeah.
And nice velvet buck with him.
Yeah.
Up and comer.
I walked up to him, and first thing I noticed was how dark his horns were. And I really love it when their horns are really dark. Like his brown tines, not as big as the brown tine buck, but they're fits in with the deer.
Well, I'm super proud of you, bud. I wish I could jump in there with you, but it's just you and me, and somebody's got to run the camera, and somebody's got to be the star, hey?
Yeah.
All right, well, congratulations again. We'll get them loaded up, and get them back to the garage and get them cleaned up, hey?
Yeah.
I can honestly say, as a hunter, I used to dream of chocolate racks and big tines, but now these smiles are all that matter. I guess that's evolution. Well, 2 years and 2 gorgeous bucks with his bow. We couldn't be more proud of Magnus. Thanks for watching this week's episode of Canadian Whitetail.
To book your own dream hunt in northern Saskatchewan, contact us at Canadian Whitetail Outfitters. Stay up to date with Dean and the team by following us on Instagram, liking us on Facebook, and subscribing to our YouTube channel.